So we've seen that children are prepared for the world of work. But Bowles and Gintis go on to argue that children aren't just prepared, but they're categorised. School is like a big sorting house. It exists to put children into particular boxes. And they say this in page 11. The educational system is best understood as an institution which serves to perpetuate the social relationships of economic life through which these patterns are set. Perpetuate the social relationships of economic life. Perpetuate inequality. Schools foster legitimate inequality through the ostensibly meritocratic manner by which they reward and promote students and allocate them to distinct positions in the occupational hierarchy. Schools sort out the wheat from the chaff, if you like. You're that kind of person, that's your future. You're that kind of person, that's your future. This is who you are, that's what your background is, this is what your future's going to be in the world of work. You're going to be one of those barristers, you're going to be one of those shop floor workers. And Terry presented to you last week in his session on social class that the idea that school acts as a way to promote social mobility is a complete and utter farce. Bowles and Gintis make clear, not only is it a farce, but actually schools exist to do the absolute opposite. And I want you to watch this short video. What we see here is apples being sorted, and you'll see each of those barrels, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, those holes are different sizes. So as the apples pass over each of those barrels, what we see is the apples plopping through those different holes. It's a way of sorting out, grading apples by their size. And this categorisation, the thing that Bowles and Gintis argue, is exactly what schools exist to do. They exist to sort out particular children into particular categories, to determine their future. They go on to argue this, that schools create and reinforce patterns of social class, racial and sexual identification among students, which allow them to relate properly, quote unquote, to their eventual standing in the hierarchy of authority and status in the production process. The relationships of authority and control between administrators and teachers, teachers and students, students and students, and students in their work replicate the hierarchical division of labour which dominates the workplace. Sorting children out, and the way that schools do relationships between themselves, the teachers, the students, all replicate those hierarchical positions within the workplace. You have the shop floor steward, you have the senior manager, a up in the office behind that glass partition that you can see at a distance but you never get to speak to because you're too lowly, unless you get into trouble, and then you have to go and speak to them, the head teacher or the manager of the factory.